The following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
What's up?
Man, look at Zach McVey coming in right on time.
Yeah, way to be late. Welcome to the Coach's Box, everybody. We are here. Zach's here finally. Way to prep for the show, Zach.
Finally.
Oh, Mandy's got she's on call. I got wait till last minute. Whatever. Anyway, it is episode 209. The boys of summer are heating up October. In case you didn't know, there's been a heat wave like literally all freaking summer, and it just continues on into October. It's not Indian summer because you know what? There's no more Indians. Thanks a lot, Cleveland. You suck. But guess what? We got some awesome baseball going on. Fellas, if you had a chance to watch it, I mean, I'm excited about it.
I've had fun watching the San Diego and Dodgers series. A lot of bad blood. A great coach in San Diego. A great coach that could be coaching here in St. Louis. A great coach who seems his players just go out and play hard for him. I don't know.
All right, well, it's a great take, Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, and it does help. His right fielder is back in action. He's a stud. His daddy played here and hit 4 home runs in a game.
Wait, didn't we scout that guy?
Oh, you
Like
mean
what,
we could have had him?
Yeah, like 16 times or something.
Yeah, we brought him in and did all these.
How
work
the hell do you go there and watch him play 16 times and not draft him?
He must not have tied his shoes the right way.
Well,
no, I don't get it.
He wasn't as good as Dylan Carlson.
Cold dead hands. Well, in case anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, because you live under a rock and you don't watch baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr. is having quite the October this year under former Cardinals manager Mike Shildt. Now, I will say this in defense. We all had some issues with Shildt at times, especially with how he managed the bullpen. But you know what? He's a hell of a lot better than what we got now. Well, I mean, a hell of a lot better.
Philosophically, we knew we were going to play a good defensive game. We knew we would have good base running. Yes. We knew that. And, I mean, I don't know. It's aggravating. I mean, yeah, they had to win 17 games in a row to make the playoffs. But guess what? They did it. When have we made the playoffs since?
Well, we made it one time since. Good God, Zach.
Yeah.
You're loud.
Sorry, can't help it.
You guys don't have any Mucinex over there in high dollar rent district?
Rent district.
Hey, I'm delivering that subdivision. No wonder they don't tip in there. They got them big old houses.
That's a mortgage payment, dude. Can't be doing that. Zach, what's your take on the baseball playoffs so far?
I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head when you're talking about San Diego and LA. My thought was, did he make a potentially bad decision? They were talking about that today with going into the situation with LA with pitching. I mean, I don't know. Okay, Dodgers, everybody has been hurt, right? And so they that they are going into this bullpen type game, which is just weird to hear you say that in playoff time. But you've got Cease that I think he pitched, and he only pitched a couple innings, and what was it, short rest, and he didn't have a good game
Cease
before
was
that.
bad.
You know what I mean? So I don't. I like the idea of saying, hey, if this is supposed to be our bulldog, go ahead and go do that. However, Chris, you have said over the years, all of the time, the eye test. And so to me, that's like, man, what did the eye test look like? And
what was his other options? Who was his other options to start?
A bullpen game. You know what I mean? It was going to be a bullpen type game like LA had to do, and then you're going into this ball game, and I don't know, just whoever you're going to throw, at least maybe give him another day's rest. But I don't know. Here's the question: are people wanting to see New York in a Subway Series? Are people wanting to see the Yankees and Dodgers? I just don't know how much America wants to see San Diego.
I mean, San Diego has Jarvis going next game. I mean, I don't think that it was a bad decision. He knew he had Jarvis. He knew Dodgers were going bullpen game. And the way the Dodgers pitching has been, take the chance. Don't work. Hey, you got one of your main guns going in the next game. Yeah, I would like to have ended it then. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Jarvis wouldn't have been ready. I don't know what his status was or what, but maybe an extra day's rest does him good. I don't know.
Yeah. Chris, this is the guy that went to the LA's Dodgers game.
I mean,
weird, right? With the hat and the jersey. And
if San Diego loses, I'm going to root for the Dodgers. But right now, I like Schilt. I couldn't go to San Diego. My cousin lives in LA. So I had to go to LA game. And if he's watching right now, he's going to be pissed at me. But do you notice?
No, I was watching anyway.
Yeah.
You can't say that on here.
I can't? Oh.
I'm kidding. No, it's a movie.
So
it's a movie
the other game, though, the game before that when San Diego won, did you see who made the last out for the Dodgers in the number 22 uniform?
Yeah.
No.
Tommy Pham.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's like this, guys. We're watching some great baseball right now, and none of those teams are wearing Cardinal blue or Cardinal red. I mean, excuse me.
Hey!
I'm thinking about this Dodgers game and trying to collect my thoughts. No one's wearing Cardinal red in this postseason. Okay.
Nope. It's depressing.
It is very depressing. But the good news is I think we're seeing this turn in baseball where some of these teams, I mean, look at the Mets. Look at what the Mets have done. Nobody expected the Mets to really be any good. And they got hot and finished this year strong. This knocked off the Phillies. Okay. Coming into the postseason, everybody's talking about how great the Phillies are. The Phillies were stinking loaded. But they had been cold ever since they wrapped up the division. And guess what? I think there's only been how many games has the National League even won since they went to the new playoff format when you have the bye?
Right. Well, if you're talking about like the 1 seed or the top seeds, they have not done well. Like the top seed has not. There's something about being a creature of habit, and again, hitting a baseball is arguably the hardest thing to do in sports.
It's difficult.
It's difficult, and if you are taking time off, even if it's just to rest physically, mentally, whatever. I mean, if you're not seeing that live pitching game type of atmosphere, I think you lose a little bit of it. You lose a little bit of your mojo, but you also have all of these other teams that are vying for wild card spots, or they're in this race for whatever division that they're in. So they've had this ability to, like, hey, we're winning late and we're playing well, and they just carry that right on in, that momentum right on into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean that's you have to get hot, and you have to be playing your best baseball right now in order to have a chance to win the World Series. I just think now more than ever that team that wins 100 games, they they probably are at a disadvantage because that's great, but are you playing your best right now instead of being good throughout the season? Back when there was only, the pennant and the championship series where 2 teams came out on each side in the postseason, that's when winning 100 games was important because you had to get to that spot to have a chance to play. You had to win the East Division. The other team had to win the West Division. And you win 100 games was kind of important. Now, well, hell, you can win 87 and you have a shot to win it all because if as long as you're playing your best in September into October, I mean, look at what the Royals are playing well. The Tigers. Now they're losing currently. Okay. And it's 5-4. They just scored. It was 5-3. And it's bottom of the ninth. Class A's pitching. So, they're down to their last out. But look what the Tigers have done. They have 86 wins, by the way. 86. They're like the Cardinals when the Cardinals beat the Tigers back in 06. That's about how many wins I think they had. So it's about just playing your best baseball at this point in time in the year. And man, it's tough. I mean, it's tough because it's the season's long and guys get hurt or they just get cold all of a sudden after playing really well all year. It's a crazy game. I don't think our format, and I've said this, I said it last year when the Dodgers and the Braves got knocked out of the playoffs when they won 100 and got bounced with the bye in each side. It does not favor them. It doesn't. I wish they would do something in order to reward the team. Not that I care about the Dodgers or the Braves. Reward the team that has the best record instead of it being a disadvantage because here's your time off.
Well, and that's the thing is what you just said it. I mean, they did so well in the regular season. I mean, they've probably been on coast mode for weeks, right? And so if you've wrapped things up weeks ago, one, you're probably not in that normal routine that you've been in basically since April, definitely May. And if you're the manager, you're like, hey, I'm going to rest guys now for that playoff push once we get into postseason play. And I think that just changes everybody's momentum. I think it changes everybody's routine.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. By the way, Jason, your brother's holding you accountable here. I don't know if you read his comment. Tommy Edmond made that final out, not Pham. I knew what you meant, but
they pinch hit Tommy Pham the other night.
He plays for the Royals, does he not?
Oh, it was the Royals game I was watching. Gosh dang it! I didn't mean
color blue, Jason.
I didn't mean Edmond, and then I wanted to.
One guy's white, the other guy's black.
I know. I meant Edmond made the last out in that game, and then Tommy Pham did for KC. Sorry. They're their first name's Tommy, asshole. I mean, come on. You act like it's, oh my God, how could you mix them up?
I don't know how you could.
How could you not? They both play for the Cardinals. They're both Tommy. They both suck. We got rid of them.
Are you guys related? We have no kin.
Alabama, sir.
Oh, I hate all of you. Go back to my
that lip trip over tripwire. So and how about this? What's our thoughts on the speaking of the Royals? It's so bad. We have two. We said it in our group messaging. We have 2 former Cardinals managers, the last 2 that are still alive in the postseason. I mean, how crazy would that be? But I don't know, man. The Royals are kind of up against it. The Yankees just have so much firepower.
They're there. They're playing. I mean, again, it's been the line. Get in, you got a chance.
Okay, that Stanton guy we almost had.
No, we had no shot.
I know we didn't. I'm just saying. I hate that guy.
I think we got snookered. I think Miami absolutely knew that out of the 3, like, hey, listen, we got to get rid of Ozuna. We've got to. Like, he's having some issues right now. So no, not the other 2. This is the one you want. Let's get rid of him first.
The sad part is they got rid of all three.
They
those
said
guys.
they weren't trading the other two, is what they said.
I know, and then they turn around as soon as they got rid of Ozuna, Yelich is on the market. Like we had no shot. We
should have went after him too. Hell, had him in.
Now I can say he's okay. Has that trade for Milwaukee been worth it in the latter several years?
Yeah,
he's been hurt. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. He's been hurt.
Has he won an MVP? Is he a consistent player?
So did Goldie.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Which one's got a 5-year plan? Which one has a 5-year plan?
He always brings up the worst comparison.
Goldschmidt is got 1 foot in the grave in comparison to Yelich. Come on.
Yelich has 1 foot in the hospital. He's always hurt. He's been
okay. I'd rather have the guy who's maybe hurt and can play than the guy who's dead and you cross him off the list. Tell me I'm wrong.
Goldie's played. He just hasn't played well. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Your best ability is availability.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say.
You don't have that when you're dead.
Right.
What's Goldschmidt? Hey, aren't we glad that he's been available though to go out there and hit what did he actually get up over 230 this year?
I don't know.
That's a great question. What a great stat question. Jason, I thought you did research before we came on.
Well, I'm looking right now.
245. He hit 245. He played in 154 games.
I say, how many did Yelich play in? Probably.
He probably like 100.
Yelich played in 73 in 2024.
So there you go. Not even
much. But he hit 315. So when he was there, he actually did some damage.
In 2000, Yelich, you're complaining he played 154 in 2022. 117 in 2021, 144 in 2023. I think I would have took
23.
Yelich.
Yeah. Well, that's all I was just simply asking the question. Who
23, 22, 21. He's played over 100 games in all those. He had 58 and 20 and 73 and 24. And then every other season other than his rookie season, he's been over 120 games. I'd take that. I'd rather have that than Goldie.
And when he was acquired at the age of 26, not like 96 like Goldschmidt was.
36.
Yeah, whatever he was when we got him. Yeah. Hey, how about this? He's hit 285. He's got an OBP since everybody cares about that crap. You have 384 since he's been with Milwaukee. I would say it worked out really great for the Brewers to acquire him. They've had him for 7 years. They've got some good years out of him. He's a 3-time All-Star for him. I mean, and again, the Goldschmidt trade was a no-brainer for the Cardinals. I am not complaining about that one itty-bitty bit. But if you're going to trade Sandy Alcantara and basically a couple of guys who were Cy Young winners, why don't we go and get somebody who's actually worth a damn? And Ozuna at the time was not. Now Ozuna all of a sudden figures out, man, I know how to hit, which really sucks, considering that he couldn't hit or field or do much of anything right for the Cardinals. I kind of wonder if Busch Stadium isn't built the right way. Nobody can hit a damn ball out over the fence.
It's because it's a pitcher's park. I mean,
why don't we change that? Wait. They want more people to come to the games, just like add more seats.
Dude, I mean, Yelich had
bring the walls in.
Not only all that, Chris, Yelich had one MVP year and then was runner-up the next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's
when he was in his first 2 years in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and then he started getting hurt a little bit.
Well, he had. I mean, Zach acted like he was in the hospital and hurt. Like, I mean,
this year,
his four out of his last. Or we can go. Get off there, stupid thing.
Out damn spot.
Out of 12 years in the pros, he's only had 3 years where he was under, 50, he was 73, 58, 62.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a better career after he changed teams than what Goldschmidt has. There's no doubt about it. Goldschmidt was also 31 years old when the Cardinals acquired him. He's only been an All-Star one time the year he won the MVP. And I would say, I believe they literally have the same stats, except OBP, batting average, and all that. And Yelich is like 5 years younger, so it makes a little bit of a difference there. I would still rather have had Christian Yelich on that when we traded than Ozuna, but I digress.
About that same year span, well, we can go back. It would go back to 2011 though with Goldie. He had 2 years where he was under 60 games, and one of those was in 2020 which was of course I think COVID. So, but yeah, he's played a lot of games the last 4 years: 158, 151, 154, 154.
Yeah, I mean, he did okay.
He was 31, 35, 25, and 22 in homers. Homers ain't the problem. He can't hit for average. He can't anymore. It's either a home run or a strikeout.
I don't think anybody for the Cardinals can hit home runs because, again, I think the park is not designed for it. Maybe we should have done that a little bit better job. But it was back then it was a Cardinal way. Now it's like, hey, we're going to hit home runs, but you can't. So anyway, Yankees are winning 2-0 right now. Bottom of the fifth over the Royals. They win the series. The Indians beat the Tigers, so that series is tied 2-2. Notice I will not ever admit that they're the Guardians. What a bunch of bullshit. That's the freaking stupid. Indians.
Just like the Redskins. Come on.
Yeah.
The Commanders. It's so blah.
So what's our prediction? Are the Yankees going to close this out? Are they going to win at some point here? Okay. Yes. So who's going to win? Who's going to win the Cleveland Detroit series? What's your guys' thoughts there?
Cleveland.
I like the way you think.
Cleveland. I just think their lineup. I mean, their lineup's pretty good, and
all right.
I don't know with Detroit. It's like again, you haven't been there since how many years?
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, like was it the 90s?
No, we played them in 06 in the World Series.
Was it 06? That's right.
No, it wasn't that. Oh my gosh. Do you do any research? It's not like you're doing anything all day.
Oh, yeah. Educating minds, molding minds. Like
whatever. You just roll the ball out there in your social studies class. Come on.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're gonna watch Criminal Minds at Disney Plus. That's what you're doing. Don't even lie.
No. He's at a new school, man. He's got to actually be on his P's and Q's.
Would you stop coughing into the microphone?
I can't help it.
He's not tenure.
I can't. I love it.
So if you're an R7 parent and your kid gets the coffees, it's from this guy.
The coffee.
Yep. The coffee.
The coffees. Is that
the sniffles? The sniffles.
They've been having that for a while. So
hey, the Tigers had not been to the playoffs since 2014. So it's been a whole decade. Yeah. Their top player at that time was a guy named Max Scherzer. Yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, we never had him. He would have had him.
Yeah, we could have had a bunch of those guys. They had a pretty good lineup back in the day. Miggy, Ian Kinsler, that was a pretty solid player. JD Martinez, Nick Castellanos, and Torrey Hunter.
Man, Nick Castellanos?
Victor Martinez. I don't know if you remember him or not. And let's see about this pitching staff. They had David Price. They had Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and Anibal Sanchez, who threw a perfect game that wasn't a perfect game. Thanks, Jim Joyce. That was a pretty good team. They just didn't have a bullpen because their closer was Joe Nathan, and he served up everything.
Dave might be right. MLB wants Yankees, Dodgers. They either want Yankees, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets. That's what I think.
Man, the Subway Series would be intriguing, but everybody they want to see Shohei on the biggest stage. You will get all of Japan watching. It's going to be an international thing. It'll be Yankees, American team against, Japan, whatever. It's just one of those things. They'll market that thing so crazy it's stupid. And it's Judge Ohtani. I mean, the Major League Baseball has always wanted to be able to market their individual players against each other like the NBA does, and like the NFL does with their quarterbacks.
Hey, when they did? When it was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hitting slam-a-lama ding-dongs. They marketed the heck out of that. And brought
that's because they helped baseball not just end up folding.
Right. They poured them out. I've already established that. That's the word I will always and forever use, and I do not apologize for it. They poured them out. They used them out, and then see ya.
And what's
Not only see ya.
What's unbelievable, they did that, and neither one are in the Hall of Fame yet. You got to be kidding me, folks.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the game back. I don't care if they roided it up or not. They brought the game back. All them guys should be in. Barry should be in. But they're going to do just like they did with Pete Rose. They'll wait till he dies, and then, okay, you can come in.
So we didn't talk about this because we had our conversation sidetracked because I think we wanted to discuss just a little bit about Pete Rose, in the passing of Pete Rose last week.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thoughts. I think I've said it before, and whether it was on the show or not, I support Pete Rose being banned, having a lifetime ban from baseball. I hate it, but I support it because he signed the deal to do it, to keep from getting in trouble. That's what he did. Now that he's dead, and I know people are like, oh my God, that'd be the worst thing ever, is to put him in the Hall of Fame after the fact. I think to honor the player Pete Rose, now, posthumously, he should be put in the Hall of Fame. Lifetime ban's over, he's dead. Okay? As blunt as that is. He's gone, lifetime ban's over. Pete Rose, for everything that he did for the game of baseball, should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame once he was eligible. However, Pete Rose made a mistake. He lied over and over. He was like freaking Shaggy. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But it was him. And he admitted to it. And he signed that lifetime ban from baseball to keep from getting in trouble. And I think that's what we all forget about. He did that to stay out of trouble legally, all the above, for everything that he was doing. He did that. He made that decision.
Right.
He did it.
Right.
So
Here's
then
okay,
hang on. Let me finish and I'll let you have it.
All right.
But he did that to stay out of trouble. And then all of a sudden it's like, but I should be in baseball. But I should be in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference than Bonds and McGuire and Sosa, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Those people, they didn't have it wasn't, we're doing this to get out of trouble. Okay? Like he did. He made that decision. He did.
Was he under threat of being arrested and incarcerated?
I believe he was going to be facing was it racketeering or something?
Okay, well, of course he's going to sign something to stay out of prison.
Okay,
McGuire didn't have to sign anything.
That's what I'm saying.
So that, of course, you're going to take that deal.
Okay, he said it.
Their neighbor's going to take that deal.
Now,
here's the other thing: was he a player? Was he a player?
Player manager? Was he player manager?
No, in the 80s or whenever it was.
Yeah,
no.
In 86, I think he was still player manager. I think but see, that's the thing. Like, how far back did it go? And it really, Zach, he took a lifetime ban from baseball. He accepted it. He accepted that deal. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, I did. What you made? Okay, then serve your time. Go to jail. And then you're going to the Hall of Fame. So you come out of jail and you go to the Hall of Fame.
Not going to the Hall of Fame because writers, dum-dums like these writers that don't give Derek Jeter unanimous Hall of Fame.
That's a total different part. That's a total different part.
But it's still
who made the decision.
It's still pointing out how stupid the voters are.
They're the same voters that aren't letting everybody else in our generation.
Derek Jeter should have been unanimous.
Yes.
Those voters, whoever that guy is, should never be able to vote on anything ever again.
I agree with that.
And all I'm saying is stupid. You honor what he did as a player. What he did as a manager.
He was a player manager from 84 to 89.
Okay, 89.
Okay, so whenever you look up when he did his deal, if he did his deal in 89 or earlier, then Chris, you're right. If he did it post 89, then
what do you mean post 89?
If he did it like 1990 or later, I don't know when he did his deal. That's what
you mean when he signed the lifetime ban?
Yeah. I don't know when he did that.
I think it was 19. It was either 1990 or 1991.
Okay, so then you have, in my opinion,
no, it doesn't.
The player.
It was an investigation. There was an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Okay. I'm reading it right now. In February of 89, okay, Paul Giamatti, who was the commissioner of base, they were doing an investigation on him at that point.
He signed it in 1989.
Okay. So he got out more than likely to avoid having any issues with that as the manager. Okay. He remained the manager until August 24th of 1989. They were investigating it in February of 89.
When was his last game that he played?
Hang on.
That's my question. If it's in 89, then I agree with you. If it was before that season and he hung him up as a player, then you honor the player, what he did on the field.
His final career at bat was 86.
Yeah, because he was dropping the 40 man.
I'm voting for him, and the only reason why he did that deal is when they say prison time. Tell me what paper I got to sign to stay out of prison. Like, you're going to take that deal. Chris, you're not going to take that deal.
Oh, I'm not saying okay, but did you do something wrong?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
He admitted to doing something wrong.
No, he didn't. He admitted when he signed the paper.
He did when he. That's what I'm saying. When he
there he goes.
Papers.
I did it
because
no
one
he did
ever
not
takes plea. Come on, social studies teacher.
I'm aware.
Nobody takes plea deals. Nobody takes plea deals.
Stop.
Deny.
Okay, Zach, I will ask you this: if he wasn't a baseball player, if he wasn't a baseball player, if he wasn't a great baseball player, and he took a plea bargain for a crime, as a social studies teacher, you would say he's guilty. And if he wanted to vote in the presidential election and he committed a felony and he signed this agreement that says I'm guilty and I give up my voting rights, and he was the deciding vote in an election that he wanted to vote in, you would say, you committed the crime. You agreed to do this. And it doesn't matter what kind of, you were a great guy, but you committed one crime and this is what's going to happen to you. And you would say, no. He did that. He admitted it. He's wrong. He signed it. That's the way it is. The difference is, Zach, Pete Rose hit the baseball. You love baseball. You love the way he played. It's a romantic game, and you are in love with the way Pete Rose played baseball, and that is clouding your judgment.
Yes,
you're wrong.
4,000. All of his 4,000 plus hits. Go ahead.
Nope.
No what? It's guys. I'm telling you, he willingly accepted it on August 24th of 1989. He voluntarily accepted a permanent place on baseball's ineligible list. That meant that he could not be part of the Hall of Fame or anything to do with baseball. He accepted that there was a factual reason for the ban. There you go. And in return, MLB agreed to make no formal finding with regard to the gambling allegations. That was it. That was it.
I don't disagree with the statement, but you can't sit here and tell me, again, in a court of law, if you're going to sit here and take a plea deal,
then he should have fought it. Then he should have fought it.
Oh my gosh! Again, are you going to stay out of prison? All you have to do is say, "Oh yeah, here's this piece of paper that says I'm guilty, but I avoid 25 years to life," and that's 90% of court cases are plea deals. They don't even go to trial because their lawyers tell them, "Look, here are your options. We can go to trial. You can serve 25 to life, or you take this plea deal. You serve probation." And then no jail time or no prison time. As your lawyer, I'm telling you, take the deal.
Listen, and you can, and Big Jughead, I'm telling you right now, I think the player Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame because of how he played. But he accepted it. He accepted it. He did wrong. That's the only thing that says during his time of his life, he shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame. He accepted a lifetime ban. He's dead. Put him in. I have no problem putting him in the Hall of Fame at this point. He accepted the punishment for what he did. Okay? Just the way it is.
Right.
All right? And he accepted it. So for him to go back and then he lies to everybody and says, I didn't do it. And then finally in that one interview with like 60 Minutes back in 2002 or something, he's just like, did you bet on baseball? Yeah, I bet on baseball. Well, we all knew you did. Everybody knew you did. But you can't separate because at one point he was the player and the manager, David. He did both of them. He did both things, and he was involved in that. He could put himself in the game. He could take himself out of the game. It's just the way it is. To what? To make a couple bucks. We don't know how much he made. You know, Jonte Porter didn't make any money doing stupid stuff like that, and now he's got a lifetime ban. My point is, he's gone, and we can all have this debate all day long, 6 ways to Sunday. I hate it because I think Pete Rose was a Hall of Fame player, no doubt about it. No question. But he made some poor decisions, and then he accepted that ban from baseball. He did it. He voluntarily accepted it and admitted blame in doing so.
Hell, there's murderers in the Hall of Fame.
But did they sign an agreement that says I'm out?
My point is,
which murderers are we talking about? Which Rick killed a guy?
I only found one.
Gaylord Terry killed a guy.
Ralph Blackie Schwam. He pitched for the St. Louis Browns. Was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison in 1949.
What year did he go in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. It's just some baseball Hall of Famers have had criminal records, and that was the first one that came up. And then Ferguson Jenkins found with cocaine, hashish, and marijuana during a customs search in 1980. Missed the rest of 1980 season, but was reinstated and elected to the Hall of Fame in 1991. I mean, it's not like Ty Cobb was a piece of work. I just thought he should have been in.
But I don't disagree with what he did on the field. But none of those other guys had said, I'm taking a lifetime ban from baseball, nor did any commissioner ever put a
None
ban.
of those other guys were up facing going to prison.
Now, the other thing about that is this. You don't bet on the games that you're playing because it breaks the cardinal rule of the game. Okay? Because you affect the game by like point shaving. Okay? I mean, go back to the longest yard. Like, you could steal money from your grandma. You know, you don't shave points.
Point shaving's un-American.
Yeah, it's un-American. I mean, it's a game, and even there that was like the cardinal sin of baseball, because you could fix a game as a player, or basketball, you could shave points. So yeah, you do cocaine, that's you outside the game. I'm not saying you're great for doing it. Hell no. I mean,
Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden
played a little.
Yeah.
Darryl Port. Well, he ain't in the Hall of Fame, but oh my
Zach's
God, Zach's dying. Hey, since
911.
All right, since we're on baseball, I'm shifting this conversation.
Well, we had to shift to a break, and then we come back.
Shut up.
No, we're doing it.
I'm pre-shifting.
You're
I'm giving a teaser before we shift. When we come back, Zach may not be able to breathe. Well, I think that could have more to do with some other things other than his cough. But now, I mean, I have that problem sometimes too. I go up a flight of stairs. I'm a fat ass. But when we come back, we need to talk about how it's all the coach's Ward's fault that the Cardinals suck. Right? I mean, because he's the one that got fired. Of all the people we fire him. We don't fire Mo. We don't fire the manager. We fire our... Who cares? A crappy hitting coach. You think that's going to change? You think that our,
what a tease.
Gorman and all these guys are just going to start hitting the ball because they fired the hitting coach? No, they suck. We need to get rid of Gorman and some other things. We suck.
And
I hate Cardinal baseball right now. I just hate it.
Coach's Box coming back.
I hate it.
I'm a bee, and I bumbled my way into your car.
Buzz.
But this hive isn't big enough for the both of us. Boo!
Oh, wow, what a buzzkill. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage,
Paying for this could really sting. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Cut. All right, next setup.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
He gives us big tease, and then he's just not even back by the time we come back from commercial break. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coach's Box Call Like We See It podcast. I'm Chris Miller. That's Zach McVey, and that empty spot should be Jason Jarvis with his big St. Louis Cardinal rant. I don't know. He probably had to pee. He's old. He can't wait that long, you know?
No.
So anyway, if you're watching our show, we appreciate you guys tuning in. You missed out on some exciting stuff in our last segment when we talked about the baseball postseason and a little bit about Pete Rose and should he be in the Hall of Fame or not. And that's up for debate for anybody. And we're glad if we would be happy to have those comments jump back in or comments in our feed, but that's okay. But we appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as Jason showed you in the graphics during our commercial break. And there he is. So, Jason, after you lightened your load there a little bit and tinkled, what let's talk about your little tease with the Cardinals and how excited you are about how they just fixed their hitting problem.
They didn't fire the right person.
Well, who did they fire?
The hitting coach.
Well, what's his name? Do you even know his name?
The Turner Ward or whatever.
It's Turner Ward.
Gosh damn it. I did some research.
It's okay. It's
I
good.
did more than Zach. Zach didn't even know what we were doing. Hey, so why? Let's keep Mo around. Mo's gonna, he's gonna bring this other guy around, and he's gonna teach him his ways of how to save the wallet money.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
I hate.
You didn't know that?
Oh, he's. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Zach. I hate to say this, but Zach McVey is right. We are going to go through that lull of terrible Cardinal baseball. I'm agreeing with him. It's this horrible day. but it's true.
Terrible.
And I can't stand much more of it. I might wear Dodger shit more often.
So hey, at least they can make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round. That's what the Dodgers do.
Well, so Ward's the problem. What about Jeff Albert? I mean, that was another hitting coach under Ali Marmol. He left. So I just don't understand again what Jason says when you talk about hitting coaches. Like, they're just collecting free money. I mean, these are pro athletes. They're not listening to you. And if they are, they probably shouldn't. All you need to say is go see ball, hit ball. It's pretty basic. It's pretty self-explanatory. Big enough, you're fast.
You mean you would think
to go
so?
hit a baseball far. You would think. I mean, I don't know how much technique when you're facing 98 to 103 miles an hour. I don't know how much technique there is other than maybe hopefully your eyes can pick the baseball up before it knocks your teeth out or goes down the middle of the plate. You just never know where the ball's going to go. So don't sit here and tell me about launch angles and this and that and the other. Just put the bat on the ball and maybe, just maybe, we'll get some hits.
Well, I mean, since again we talked about how easy it is to hit home runs in Busch Stadium, that launch angle is pretty damn important. I mean, you gotta get it just at the right angle, man. It's got that uppercut swing.
Well,
and it's really important for that warning track power.
I mean, isn't it basically since Jeff Lunau left, hasn't like the Cardinals skid just went straight down?
Yeah, It's not been great.
I mean, Mo may get some credit for some of the stuff that happened, but was it really Mo?
It's a good question, Jason.
I mean,
I don't
I
think
go
it's
back to
all been
when did Jockey, right? When did Jockey leave? And then Mo takes over. You're going to ride those coattails for a while because all of those dudes were under contract. And then, again, you start bringing your guys in. Who are your guys? Dexter Fowler on that contract? Mike Leake on that contract? Like, these are the guys you're bringing in. Now, you could sit here and say, hey, you rolled the dice. You fleeced Colorado for Arenado. Great. Okay. Congratulations. But for every one.
But Arenado, what has Arenado won? How many playoff games has that guy played in? How many World Series is that dude? Yeah, is Zach the one that's choppy?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, him and his black lung cough that he's got going on there.
Well, I figured the high dollar district. I figured the high dollar district had good internet, but I guess not. So yeah, I mean, I just.
Yeah, you gotta have more than that, Jason. Come on, let's see. You're the one who teased it. Go ahead, full on. What do you really feel?
It can't be that it was just the hitting coach. This manager, in his defense, hasn't been given a great roster to do anything with, and then the front office will do something like bring up Walker, and then the manager's not playing Walker. So there's a disconnect between manager and front office. There's a disconnect between fans, front office. There's DeWallet. There is no connect with that douche. And I don't know. I don't know where the Cardinals are going here.
Well, I don't think they really have a true plan.
It's not the Cardinal way anymore. No. It's not what do you call this? The mediocre way? The mediocre way?
Should be doing something else way.
Barely 500 way. We're happy to be 500 way. We're not going to spend money way.
Patient way.
We lied to all of our fans when we built this stadium.
Always save way.
Save a lot way. I mean, yeah.
Could be Aldi's, but not.
Price chopper. I mean,
great value.
Wait. It can't be Aldi's because when you go to Aldi's, you get the great finds. They ain't finding anybody who can play baseball, and they can do anything. So it's like shitty finds.
Well, no, you got to put a quarter in to get the cart anyway. They ain't putting a quarter in, so they ain't getting the cart.
Goodwill way. Goodwill.
Throwaway.
Thrift shop.
Yeah.
Thrift shop. That's where you go and find Lance Lynn and all these old dudes on the scrap pile. Right. It's like,
Hey.
That needs to be able to play. Like I saw some at Goodwill, and man, that thing when that thing was new, that thing was pretty awesome. I didn't get it for $15.
Ron Rhodes and his buddy Matt Carpenter way. I mean, I'm gonna go down. I can go down here to Overstock down the street and have better deals than we're doing. We're just, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of listening to Mo. I can't wait till this next year's over, so I don't ever have to listen to that bow-tied talk anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
If they would have fired him, they could have fired him and done nothing, and I would be happy that he was gone. I don't know. I think the answer is you got to sign better players. Go, Kittle, go. But sign better players.
Well, it starts there. I mean, roster construction is kind of important. We always said it's not, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. And
not the X's and O's.
Well, you got to have some dudes. You got to have some dudes who can hit the ball. You got to have some dudes who can field the ball. And you got to have some guys who can pitch the ball. And they just don't have those.
I mean, right now, if I look at our position players, the two that I'm probably the most happy with is our shortstop. And then our utility man.
Okay. We can play a real quick game, and then we'll move away from the Cardinals because they're depressing as hell.
Yeah, I'm
so. Well, you're the one who brought it up. So let's take the top. Let's take the top 3 players.
Well, if you would have looked at the agenda, this was on it. But go ahead.
Okay, I don't look at anything. So top 3 players for the Cardinals. Who are they? Top 3. Top 3 players. Come on. I know it's really hard to think of it. Okay. Helsley is your best player.
If he's
probably win.
Okay.
So that gives you a guy up the middle.
Yeah.
And then probably
I say Brendan Donovan.
Contreras, I don't know when he's healthy.
Okay, so it's funny, Zach. The 3 guys that you said. Wynn is the top player for the Cardinals in WAR this year. Wins above replacement with 4.9. He's 4.9 wins above replacement. Helsley is second with 3, and then Contreras is 2.9. That's the top 3 players.
Good job, Zach.
So not too bad, Zach. I mean, with some good guesses. And Donovan was 4th, Jason. So you're right there too. Now, look at the teams that are in the postseason since we have an expanded playoff. And I want you to take our top 3 players up against anybody else's top 3, and do we even freaking compare?
No.
Then you can't win.
I don't even have to hear him.
The moral of the story is you can't play.
You can even go. You can even go.
It's fine. Helsley is a close. I mean, he set the record this year, didn't he? He set the single season record. So you have to give him credit for that, right?
I do.
Now, I agree.
Just like Isringhouse, and when we would call him Iffy, instead of Izzy, he had his ups and downs too. But you've got to go.
Dude, I wasn't. No, Helsley did a good job. He just made our hearts skip a beat most of the time.
Well, I mean, that's baseball. It's being a closer. It happens. You're not nobody. We don't have Mario Rivera walking around out here.
Did you see that former Cardinal for the Yankees last night throwing freaking BBs for 2 innings to get a save? Oh, 2 innings save? You can't do that. Well, he did. Yeah.
Okay. So then you take the Royals. The Royals who won 86. They won 3 more games than the Cardinals, by the way. Let's see. Who's their top 3 players?
Royals.
I can name player.
Bobby DeWitt. Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
I would take either one of those 2 guys over anybody that the Cardinals have, and that includes Mason Wynn.
And then I think it's the second baseman guy, shortstop guy.
That is Bobby Witt Jr.
Kel Garcia.
Okay. Garcia's, let's see, what was his? He's down the line as far as WAR is concerned, I believe. Yeah, he's only 1.2. But so Bobby Witt is 9.4 WAR. Then Seth Lugo, 5.3.
I forgot about
Cole Reagan's 4.9. Michael Waka, 3.5.
Yeah.
Brady Singer 3.1. Okay, so and then you start getting into their position players that are that carry them. Perez was 2.6 this year. He still hit 27 home runs and drove in 100. And Vinny Pasquino or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, 19 home runs, 97 RBIs. Guys who can hit the ball and drive in people, right? That's the Royals. That's only three more wins than us. I would take any of those guys I just named over our top. If I had to take one group over the other, I would take them. You can't even say about Cleveland because Cleveland's got some dudes too. Okay. Just go down the line. The Yankees, no comparison. The Dodgers, no comparison. The Braves, no comparison. Well, then how are you getting in? The Phillies? Nope. Who? Nobody. The Padres, absolutely
the Brewers
not.
lineup, same thing.
The Brewers
Now,
the same way.
I will say this though. I will say this though. I think had we let Wynn, Donovan, Walker, Gorman, again, you have that young core, and then you go out and you get some dudes that are going to fill in that are going to wind up being your MV3. Again, Contreras, I think, did well until he broke his arm, and he came back, and however he played is however he played. But you have to have at least 3 guys that are mashing. You have to have a 5 or a 2-3-4 in lineup, and I think you could have built around a 2-3-4 or a 3-4-5 with the young guys. But there's, again, Goldie didn't perform. Arenado hasn't performed. I don't think they're leaders. in the clubhouse. And this is what happens when you have a ship without any captains. It just it goes awry. So I mean, that's just, I think if you were the Cardinals and you want to do something going forward, you have to sit here and say, you know what, we're getting whatever money we're getting off the books from everybody else. Go get 2 dudes that are top of the line free agents and play all of these other young guys around them and overpay for these 2 guys that are going to say, look, you may not make the playoffs, but we're at least going to pay you. And then go be leaders, and maybe we can change the culture quick, fast, in a hurry. I don't, other than that, I don't. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's funny because I totally agree. You gotta have some guys that can match. And the Mets really turned it on. They only had one guy in their everyday 9 that didn't hit 10 or more home runs. It was Starling Marte. Everybody else that Harrison Bader had.
He was out a long time too. That's
what I'm saying. He only played 94 games. So Bader hit 12. Brandon Nimmo 23 and 90. Vientos 27 and 71. Lindor 33 91. He's a possible MVP candidate. He won't win it. Then Jeff McNeil 12 and 44. Pete Alonso 34 and 88. I mean, they had JD Martinez, who he's just as old as Goldie, and had 16 home runs and drove in 69. And he didn't play a full season. He came back late. I know that because he's on my fantasy team. I held him too long.
Right.
So I mean, Alvarez had 11 home runs. They had guys who just hit the ball over the fence. I mean, at the end of the day, just go hit the ball over the fence. Don't worry about the rest of the crap. They had nobody. They had nobody who's an everyday player who hit over 275.
Now I know we're beating a dead horse, but let's go down. I want to go down. I'm going to talk about some rosters real quick. The Royals, they have, I believe, 3 ex-Cardinals and Paul DeYoung,
Pham,
Waka, and Pham.
Yep.
All right, and then you go to the Mets.
Bader.
They have Bader. I think that might be it. Did we?
Jose Quintana.
Yeah,
Jose Quintana. We had him too.
Yep. Bader, Quintana.
Lane Thomas is somewhere. He's on a postseason.
He's a Washington
roster somewhere.
Washington. I don't remember.
And then let's see, New York Yankees. Is there anyone on that team?
What's his name? Hang on, I'll think about it.
Luke Weaver, who I just mentioned earlier. And it might be it. I'm looking at their roster. I think that's it. Then you go to San Diego. I mean, it's just Cardinals sprinkled all over the place here.
I mean, we do our best to let everybody else have our better players.
I will say I do not think that San Diego has any ex-Cardinals. I think Fernando Tatis should have been a Cardinal. Then you go to the Dodgers.
Thomas,
yeah, Cleveland has Thomas. My brother's right. I hate to say that. Then you have the Dodgers. They have Jack Flaherty. They have Tommy Edman, Joe Kelly. That might be it. I think that's it with them. I mean, Cleveland, we already named that they had Thomas. I don't think there's anyone else. And when you just take all these players and make a team, you might be okay. Detroit, do they have any? I would think they probably do, but I don't know.
Well, but the problem is that you got rid of all of these guys, but for a lot of them, you got rid of it for a reason.
What did you get in return? That's what I'm saying.
That's right. And so, I mean, I know most everybody on the show was talking about, well, Tommy Edman has to go because you'd rather have Donovan than Edman. Well,
I agreed with that one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys are the ones saying that. And so it's kind of like, and Jason, you talked about Tyler O'Neill. He goes to Boston and look what he's doing. So is it, to what Chris is saying, is it Busch Stadium? Is it coaching? Is it philosophy? Like, is it this perfect storm of just crap? Because I mean, you look at Pujols, he never had any issues hitting here. I mean, you look at the MV3, those guys didn't have any issues when they were playing for St. Louis. You didn't have any of these issues when we're winning 90, 100 plus ball games. So, and then you have guys like Carpenter that are pitching, and
Dave's got it.
So
Dave's got it. They can't judge talent. They can't.
Well, I think they identified they just can't get it to be good when they get to the majors. I mean, and by the way, Jason, there's two Tigers that used to be Cardinals, Carson Kelly and Shelby Miller.
Oh, I missed them too. There you go. I mean, I don't know. I'm done. I don't want to talk about them anymore.
All right. Let me switch gears here, and let me
because I hate the Cardinals
and talk about some Mizzou Tigers.
Let's go from bad to worse. Hey, guys.
Hey, let's go from depressed to depressing.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say this.
There you go, Purdy. Go. Sim. Sorry.
I saw this on watching SEC Media Days. Drink, and I am a fan of Drink. I just saw a change. Okay. He wasn't who he has been at SEC Media Days. And I don't know if that was, maybe higher up saying, look, listen, you won. There's expectations on you. You can't be this jovial guy that's just cracking jokes all the time. You got to be prim and proper, because that's how he was at SEC Media Days. That's not who he was when he came in to be the coach of the Missouri Tigers. He was this fun-loving guy that says, you know what, I'm going to say whatever I want, and we're going to roll with it. And so I don't know if he's been stuffy, if he's been told to, but I don't know if that's trickled down to the rest of the guys. It just does not seem like the same, whether it's him or whether it's just all of the players. Like, it's just not the same vibe that they had last year. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on? I mean, obviously Texas A&M took them behind the woodshed, but it just seems different.
Before I give you my comment, refresh or something, dude. You're driving me insane.
Yeah, it's really tough to listen to. I can only imagine like what everyone else is thinking. I mean, gee whiz, it's just like, hey, just as soon as you have a little bit of hope and optimism with Mizzou, they just turn around and just kick you right in the nuts. I mean, it's just what they do, and it sucks. First off, I don't know. The reports were that Cook was, mouthing about the 12th man there at A&M, and like, listen, you're Mizzou, and we're used to disappointment. I don't know if you've been here long enough to be anybody. You can't say anything because we're bound to screw it up. So just shut up and play. And they didn't. And I guess they're feeling themselves, feeling pretty good. and they go out there and they just get absolutely hammered. I mean, it's A&M's largest win against a top 10 opponent ever. So that was great. Let's help them with some school history. And it just looked like there was no fight. I mean, couldn't do anything. Cook running for his life. Now they have a couple of nice defensive ends that will be in the NFL, probably high draft picks. You still got to do a better job blocking. You got to make some kind of adjustment at some point. No coaching adjustments, nothing. It was pathetic. And, it's like, all right, well, you had a bye week to get ready for that ass kicking, and you still got your ass kicked. It didn't make any sense. It shouldn't even been that bad. If they're going to beat you, it should have been a close game. It was nowhere near.
No, it wasn't. And I'll say this. After I say this, then I will rip them. So don't act like I'm saying. The start of that game and that pass interference penalty, that was a penalty. You can't, as a ref, call that pivotal in a pivotal game like that. You call that and then retract it. And then it just kind of spitfalled or waterfalled or whatever you want to say from there. And I'm
snowballed.
There we go. But, Texas A&M was the better team that day. No doubt in my mind. But momentum and you're playing in a hostile environment like Texas A&M. I'm talking about Zach. I'm saying, yes, Mizzou made mistakes, but from the start of the game, all the momentum was Texas A&M because the refs made a god-awful call on taking back a penalty. And then Brady Cook overthrows Weiss on a clear, it would have been a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And it just snowballed from there. I agree. His name's not Burton, Dave. It's Burden, but you're close. Burton plays for Cincinnati Bengals, but that's okay. Burton was looking like a little you-know-what on the sidelines.
Bad officiating is part of the game of football. Get over it. I mean, come on. Listen. It's not like it
every time they had a big play. They don't ever call a lineman downfield. They don't ever call that damn call
until they're downfield.
Every time. I wasn't saying he wasn't downfield.
It's a penalty.
I didn't say it wasn't a penalty. No. What I'm saying,
you're playing on the road in the SEC. You just ran your mouth about the 12th man, so they were probably paid off. You just shut up and play it. Just overcome it. You got to do the best you can. I won't tell you.
God,
how bad they get beat? How bad they get beat? How bad they get beat? How bad they get beat?
I said that yes, but you've never played football in your entire life.
On the yard.
So I'm gonna throw that out there first. Second.
Oh, now okay. Let's low hanging fruit, Jay. Come on.
That's not low hanging fruit.
Damn low hanging fruit. Yeah, you never played.
It's not. If you've never played the game, you don't understand the game as well as someone who has.
I don't disagree with that.
And momentum in a game like that is it's like going to Pius and pointing at the scoreboard, and then all the momentum shifts because of one stupid play by a player. And then it just snowballs after that. And
that didn't cost the game. It sure as hell didn't help.
I think it did help.
Helped us.
That penalty?
That and putting that sophomore in that lit it up.
Well, and that was the other thing. Their quarterback didn't play and then did play. He hadn't played in 2 weeks?
And since game one. Yeah.
I they kicked our ass. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying momentum in a game like that is so big when you're going on the road in SEC and you're playing against a team that the stands were packed. That place is awesome for football. And I just think it snowballed after that, and Cook sucked. I mean, he sucked.
He has been, right?
Yes. He sucked last year too.
Yeah, he hadn't been playing very good.
And we overachieved last year. I hate to agree. I was listening to 101 not long after the game. We overachieved last year. Expectations were up here. I've never thought we would make the playoffs this year, but I wanted to believe that we were going to make. You know what I'm saying? It's a Mizzou fan. You know how it is. It sucked being a Mizzou fan because this is what happens. They kicked us right in the nuts on Saturday, like unloaded. Like might as well kick me 15 times right in the ball.
It's like those American. Hey, remember those America's Funniest Home Videos when the kid would just have a wiffle ball bat and the other kid would be paying any attention. He would just talk about launch angle, right uppercut, just grippy swing that thing and hit somebody right in the nuts. That's exactly what happened.
I know you all had the game where the two guys fight in the ring and you just
the punching game.
Yeah, and you're just
rock and socket
right to the nuts.
Rock and sock him. Rock and
sock him. You got a Mizzou shirt on? Bam! Rock him, sock him to your nuts. Hey, you got a Mizzou hat on? Bam! Oh, your son goes to Mizzou. Bam! I mean, it's just like bam, 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 bam. It
was bad. It was so bad.
I was miserable to be around the rest of the day. It just ruined my day.
No way.
So here's the thing that I wanted to bring up. How hopefully you guys can hear and everything's fine now.
It's better. It's
a lot better now.
Okay, so here's my question.
Mandy said you could use the high-speed internet.
Right? This is for a select few of individuals. This is not everybody's roster. We are talking like the lottery picks, the top 15 projected in the NFL. Okay. So the reason why I bring this up is because of Luther Burden and him being one of those guys. My question to you is, do you think they will make those 15 guys will make a business decision if their potential team is out of the playoffs within 2 or 3 more weeks? If they sit here and say, hey, I have nothing left to play for, we can't be in the playoffs. Listen, I'm going to be a top 10, top whatever draft pick. I'm done. Like I'm gonna sit out. Just those guys, not rounds 2 through 7. Go ahead.
Burton already looked like a you-know-what on Saturday. And then if he does that, I'm not picking that dude. If I'm an NFL guy, I'm not picking that dude. And
is NFL dudes pick them. I mean, look at all of the bad picks all of the years. I mean, heck, look at the Giants. The Giants' GM, he picks Neighbors, which is fine, but his 10-year-old, 12-year-old kid says, I'd pick Daniels. I pick Jaden Daniels. Now, when the kid has more common sense than the GM, look at what you could have been. You know, so I mean, they're gonna pick these guys because they're talented, right? So
high upside,
the ceiling, right? So I hear you, Jason. We're living in La La Land, right? We're living in La La Land.
I'm with Jason. I wouldn't pick him, but I'm not a GM of the team. The only one I'm a GM of is my Madden team. If I buy it and play it, and I ain't bought Madden in a few years, so I'm not. It's going to happen. He's gonna if he does it, and they all make their business decisions and bitch out. I mean, it's just what they do, and they do that. I hate it. You talk about giving up on a team. That's the epitome of I'm giving up on my team. I'm gonna make my business decision. If you get freaking hurt, you can be Willis McGahee and tear your ACL in the national championship game. You might miss some time, but you still had a solid career as an NFL player. Just shut up. I mean, just go out. You're gonna get drafted.
Your percentage of getting hurt and never playing again is pretty slim.
Yeah,
and I as a competitor, I could never do that. I could never watch my teammates go out on that field when the season's not over.
Guys, this stems back from somebody who's a coach telling you you don't need to play this sport so you don't get hurt for that sport because that's your sport. It's that same stupid crap. That is the same mentality. It's the same mindset that we deal with at the high school level. And that's it now that manifests into, the higher up level. It's like, well, I don't want to get hurt in college. So my my opportunities to pro, just shut up.
Well, okay, Chris, now here, just because I'm trying to stir the pot and I want you to yell, but aren't you the same guy that says you got to go get your money?
Go get your money. You're going to get paid.
But that's
you're
what I'm saying.
Wait, okay, now Zach, let me clarify what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I agree with you guys.
Okay,
I don't think they should do that. But since they are, get your money.
Right.
I mean, again, here's the boundaries. Here's what you can do. Go do it. Okay. I don't agree with it, but they're going to go do it.
Okay. And again, we're talking 15 dudes maximum because you're going to have guys that are going to be playing in the. I just the way Jarvis, the way how bad they were getting beat on Saturday, and again seeing Burden and seeing that, it was just kind of made me think like, what if they lose to Oklahoma and Bama and they're completely out of the deal, out of the playoff? Then does he just say, hey, I'm done? I mean, I'm a top 10 draft pick. I'm just curious. So
I don't think that he's going to say he's done, but I think, and and we can go to break after I say this if you want. I was just going to say is, I think with all this stuff that's going on, NIL, all this stuff, I think in order for these guys to play college football, maybe there has to be contracts drawn up now. It says you have to play this amount of games. You can't quit because of this. You have to play, or you can't get drafted or whatever. I don't know. Something has to be done because it's hurting the quality of football. It's hurting the integrity of the game. I mean, if a team doesn't have to prepare for Luther Burden, even if they lose a couple games, say they lose a couple games. I mean, look at the upsets that happened last week. Alabama gets upset. Tennessee gets upset. Of course, Mizzou gets upset. It wasn't like it was just Mizzou. Some other teams laid some eggs too. And then these players are going to sit out because, I'm going to be a top 10 pick. This NIL stuff is really screwed up college football, my opinion.
They've got to regulate all this stuff. It's what it comes down to. They just
there has to be some type of regulation,
and they're not doing it.
That's a good segue. Promotion and relegation. I wanted to bring that up, but we can maybe do that at another time.
All right, we'll be right back. You watch the Coach's Box.
I'm a bee, and I bumbled my way into your car. Buzz. But this hive isn't big enough for the both of us. Boo!
Oh, wow, what a buzzkill. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage,
paying for this could really sting. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Cut. All right, next setup.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
You need new entertainment? You need full-length content? You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm How Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to our third and final segment of the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See It podcast. If you like our show, you don't like our show, it's okay. You can share it. We'd appreciate that. And we bring all this to you for the grand total of $0. Absolutely nothing. Why would we ever charge you for anything of the sort? And you get to be with us because we're a lot of fun. I'm Chris Miller with Jason Jarvis and Zach McVey. Fellas, we had a lot of craziness in college football last weekend, as we alluded to at the end of last segment with all of the losses. How about Vanderbilt beating Alabama?
It helped Mizzou.
Sure as hell.
It makes that win look a lot better than what everyone made it out to be. Yep.
They've got to go out. Vandy has got to go out, and I think they have Kentucky this week. They've got to go perform. So
it's got to be a confidence booster, you know. I mean,
I would have never thought in a million years Vandy would beat freaking Alabama.
No,
well, I don't think
the
Nick
number
Saban
one team. No.
Well, wait. After watching the way that Alabama dismantled Georgia, I mean that was a good game, and they were laying the wood to them. Now, of course, Georgia started to play a little bit.
So was this a hangover?
You mean you started thinking it's pretty good?
Well,
it probably was.
Yeah, the number one team in the nation. Again, what does Saban always say? Rat poison, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so and I
Saban's so blah to me, but go ahead.
Okay, so listen. I think the good ones are out in public. Again, Bill Belichick, blah out in public. Saban, blah out in public. But I think
Bill's not quite as blah, but
yeah.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. 24-year-old.
But
I knew he was going there.
I knew where he was going with that. But there's something to be said.
I wonder why. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so now with Bama's new head coach, I mean, you talk about a whirlwind of 8 days. So you go through and you beat Georgia, who at the time was number one. So you have this great win. And then now you're the number one team, and then 8 days later,
grab the bed.
You absolutely something that hasn't happened in 40 years. Something. I mean, I know Vanderbilt was over against minimum top 5 teams, if not top 10 teams.
I don't think they ever beat a top 10 team ever.
Yeah, and I think it had been since in the early 90s when they beat Bama. So I mean. Caleb DeBoer, you talk about high to low real quick, but I mean he wasn't. Bama wasn't the only one. So this is just last week. So you had Mizzou, you had Bama, you had Louisville, who was these are all just the ranked losses. Louisville was another one. You had Ole Miss the week before who laid an egg. You've got Tennessee loses, Michigan loses, USC loses. You have and Jarvis, I know you hate it when I say this. I think Miami, you got to have somebody from the ACC in. It's 2 weeks in a row that Miami has just kind of, there's a call there. There's a call there. And then UNLV also lost. That's all top 25. This would just, heck of a week. So things are kind of wide open.
Crazy.
It makes it exciting for the playoff to at least talk about now because, again, every game's going to matter. My question to you guys, does a 2-win team get in? And then does a 3-win team have a shot?
Okay, you just said a 2.
Excuse me, 2-loss team. I
know. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, sorry. 2-loss team.
Sure. Mizzou's in. No. If Jim was here, he would say, absolutely not. I am the media king, and I am, no. You can't get in with 2 losses. I don't know. We'll see. It's a major mix-up going on in the SEC, and I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Do you give credence to the SEC being this best league if you are going to have these teams with 1, 2, 3 losses compared to, again, Big 10 or Big 12 or some other conference? I mean, we're literally talking about, which is kind of cool, thinking about Army and Navy potentially making a playoff. Like
they're not both making it.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying one of them. Like how
one
cool
of them has a shot,
right?
One of them does not,
right?
And one of them might get a really good bowl game, but they're not. Yeah, one of them could. I mean, if you win out, but man, it's like you're not playing anybody like the SEC, and we said it. And of course, the argument from anybody who's anti-SEC is that the top teams in the SEC are good, and the bottom teams are sweller dwellers and bottom feeders.
So Vanderbilt,
like Vanderbilt, and then Vanderbilt goes out and plays one top 10 team really tough in Mizzou, and then they go out and beat the number 1 team in the nation in Alabama. So now Vanderbilt is not necessarily a crap team. Now they've got a really bad loss that they have. And there's a little bit more parity, I think, in college football because of the transfer portal, NIL, et cetera, et cetera. 1 week, Colorado's look terrible, and the next week they look pretty good. 1 week, Oregon looks really good, and then they look really bad. I mean, it's just USC's same. They all do this. You won't find out the best teams until a little bit later on. But it is going to make very interesting argument. There's going to be everybody going, well, we need 24 teams now in the playoff because I know, I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating.
I know you are.
But the thing is there's going to be somebody who gets left out, who everybody's going to be up in arms about. I think the SEC and the Big Ten are the 2 best conferences. I could see possibly a 3-loss team from either one of them making the playoffs over a team that has 1 loss in the ACC or the Big 12 because they're better conferences. And I hate with every fiber in me saying that the Big 10 is even relevant outside.
Well, it is now because of all the teams they brought in.
Yeah, and what are those teams doing against the regular Big 10 teams? Like, hey, thanks for showing up. You're losing, except when you play Michigan this year.
You got Oregon. So you talked about this weekend slated preseason was supposed to be like from 11 a.m. game all the way through to the evening of all of these matchups. And now that you've got maybe 1 or 2 losses, it doesn't fit the bill as much. But I mean, you've got Texas, Oklahoma, so you've got the Red River rivalry. Say that.
Red River rivalry. Right? See, I did it.
And then
Red River.
I mean, Stanford Notre Dame's just a rivalry game there. Not great anymore, but you've got Florida Tennessee. That's another one. They're sitting at 4-1 and 3-2. Then you got Ohio
Tennessee losing to Arkansas, man.
Hey, that's probably the one thing I said that was a crap game.
You've got Ohio State, Oregon. That's your 2-3 matchup. You've got Ole Miss, LSU. Here's LSU. LSU again. Kelly, he craps down his leg week 1. Here they are sitting at 4-1. They're sitting at number 13 in the nation right now. So you got a number 9, number 13 matchup in Ole Miss and LSU. And so, I mean, you've got some good matchups. And then I know you're going to say that, but you got Kansas State and Colorado, both of them sitting at 4-1.
Jarvis is like, I just got to get up and go do something right now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's saying,
give me some Coke, man.
Yeah, he's got.
Jason's doing some Coke on the air.
Coca-Cola.
Oh,
yeah,
said Coke on there.
So I mean, I don't know. I think there's still a lot of parity. Jim had said the last time he was on the show that between now and
hey, Jim, last time he was on the show, that was like 2 months ago,
right? That you're going to have a lot of teams with some losses because they play head to head, but. It's fun and exciting because it really means every week matters. So,
every week used to matter anyway, but now you have an opportunity to lose and still get in. But before it was like if you had 2 losses, you had no shot in hell. Now you do, and the advent of the playoff made that possible. Mm-hmm. I mean. Mizzou's going to have to win out to get in because they don't have a great strength of schedule. The Vanderbilt has to win out to even help them in this situation. Texas A&M needs to be stout the rest of the year, and then they got to do their part.
If Mizzou beats Alabama and Oklahoma,
that would be awesome.
I mean, I don't know that that'll ever happen, but.
You're saying there's a chance.
I still think I like them being competitive against Oklahoma. I honestly thought they were going to be more competitive against A&M. And I know we talked about it already, but maybe you said this while I was off the air. How do you have that performance after a bye week, Jason? How do you have that performance? You had 2 weeks to prepare, and that's what you do.
Well,
I was probably off air. I'd say again. That's what I'm like.
I do think they probably prepared for the other quarterback, but it's not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, our defense was on the field the whole game. I mean, offensively, I mean, I hate to say it, but Cook looked like total dog poo-poo. I mean, people were calling for his backup, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe, and this is me being Mizzou hopeful.
Through and through,
Mizzou hopeful. My son's there. I'm hoping I can get my daughter talked into going. But anyway, through and through, because you won't believe who I'm visiting in 2 weeks. We'll talk about that later. But I just hope they can win out. Not because I don't even care about making the playoffs as much as just that was embarrassing, man. And that's old Mizzou crap right there. What we saw was old Mizzou crap. And it just, God, it was so disheartening. You go into that game thinking, okay, we can go down there. We may be able to, win this game. And wasn't even close. We weren't even in the game.
It wasn't even a game.
It wasn't even remotely close.
Well, the scary part is that, again, when you're looking at the rest of Mizzou's schedule, you were kind of thinking like, well, I mean, you've got some games, it's only A&M, it's only Oklahoma, and it's only Alabama. Well, after this past week, now you're looking at, and again, you're looking at South Carolina and you're looking at Arkansas and you're like, hold on. And then does Auburn ever figure it out? That's a potential, issue. I mean, that's going to be their next test after UMass. I mean, assuming that they go ahead and take care of business this weekend. So I just think they had their years flip-flopped. I think if they wind up going 7 wins, 8 wins this year, then it should have been last year's record, and then this year should have been the double-digit win season. So still, I mean,
you'd like for them to build and traject up rather than
but I think last year they had a better offensive line.
Yes,
and
well, they returned a lot.
I don't know what
something ain't right.
They returned 4 guys.
Well, they were better last year,
I guess.
Well, they haven't played the same way, and Cook has not done really well either. He's not throwing. He's not looking down the field. He looks like he's scared for his life. And I mean, yeah, he was under pressure 45 times against A&M. You're not going to win doing that unless you're really mobile, which means they chase you out of the pocket and then you ran down the field.
Well, and he hasn't been confident running the ball.
You took it out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth because I don't think
timid.
He just looks like he's making business decisions.
Like there's been a couple plays where I think he's going to get a first down, and then he's either getting ran down or he's like turtling up like a weakling.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Rapid fire here.
Rapid fire. Well, just
talk about.
Hey, look, hockey's back, Zach. So you're out of this conversation now. The Blues opened their season the other day with a win over the Kraken, stupidest name in hockey. And the first period,
Release the Kraken.
No, timeout. I'm 100% wrong. The Utah Hockey Club is yet to name a logo and a mascot, or have an official logo and a mascot, is the stupidest name in hockey. The second stupidest is the Kraken. But the Blues looked like absolute dog crap, turds, shit, anything you want to say in the first period of that game. They looked like they were getting outskated. They did not possess the puck. The passes were terrible. I was watching it before our preseason practice, and I'm like, this is so bad. And it wasn't until just almost midway through that second period, it's like, oh hell, we can actually play. And they just turned it on. And they looked really, really, really good. And Jordan Kyrou, who I will never like him. I will never like him. Okay.
Not like him.
Because he got Berube fired. End of story. I will never like him because of that. Craig Berube is a hero in St. Louis. I don't know if you know that, Jason. Like, he's a hero. They better build a damn statue for the dude. And someone, if they see him in St. Louis, should always buy him a beer. He should never pay for it.
I agree, but his message was getting stale, dude.
Well, okay. But then you don't have to go out there and throw him under the bus like a little baby back bitch like Kyrou was. Anyway. My point is he did have a great game. He scored 2 goals. The breakaway was pretty sweet. I mean, he is super talented. I wish he put it all together, and that way we got a shot at making the playoffs. If they play the way they could, they got some guys who can play a little bit, and they're young. I look for them to be really – I don't say really good. I look for them to be a lot more competitive, hopefully, at the end of the year, and where these younger guys kind of grow into their roles. I don't really want them to be sellers at the deadline. And if they are sellers at the deadline because there's no shot for them, I want them to freaking reload with some great talent so that way we can make a run the next year.
Hey, the guys they got from Edmonton aren't bad.
I like them. Man. And
Armstrong, dude, you give me Armstrong, Mo, I'm going Armstrong, doubling down, tripling down.
What? Hey, it didn't work. Let's go ahead. I'll give him this. He
admits when he messes up.
Yes, he does. And as much as I hate it, he fired a guy that I love as a coach. Okay?
He's got cojones.
Yes, he has cojones. And that's something that the ownership, the management of the Blues, so much better than what we have at the Cardinals. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic because those younger guys have to step up to the next level. for the Blues to be good this year, Robert Thomas, who didn't shoot the puck at all, didn't put a shot on goal, which that can't happen on a nightly basis, and Jordan Kyrou and Pavel Buchnevich have to be one of the elite lines. They have to be elite players in the National Hockey League for us to have a chance. It goes back to our same argument we had with the Cardinals. Your top three against our top three. And you have to have guys that are elite or playing at elite levels. The Blues haven't had that in a while. They haven't had that since they won the Cup. When they had Tarasenko, when they had O'Reilly, when they had guys that were elite players. We haven't had that. And Bennington has to basically stand on his head and be really good. He made a couple of saves yesterday that were freaking slick,
the
man.
first part of that game was all Benny.
And then he gave up that one was a crap. Like, he can't let that happen.
I agree, but then the second half of the game, his team said, "We're going to pick you up, dude."
Yep,
got it.
Yep.
I don't want to because I'm really happy. I hope the Blues are good. I want to. What do you? Yeah, being a Blues fan is like being a Mizzou fan.
Yep,
very similar.
Very similar.
I mean, look how long it took the Blues to win a championship.
They were the Cubs of hockey for years.
Yeah, and Mizzou has not won a national championship in football. So, anyway, Rodgers and the New York Jets, Jets. What a gosh damn mess.
Dumpster fire? Where? There.
It's the Jets. What did you expect?
But it's not. It's Rodgers. Let's bring in Lazard. Let's bring in Cobb. Let's bring in this. I liked Aaron Rodgers when they had the Jets and the Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
But Rodgers should not be calling the shots, people. And
I don't know why he got fired. I don't know why the coach got fired.
Well, because the owner wanted to make
his record is not good.
It's the Jets. Who has a good coaching record in New York?
I agree with that. I mean, I haven't agreed with you much, but tonight there's been a lot of agreeing. Kind of scares me. But
really weird.
But yes, I'm with you.
It's too early. It's too early in the year. They're in second place in the division. Now, here the rumor was that the head coach wanted to get rid of the OC, but then that's why he got hot.
That's what happened anyway.
But that's what happened anyway. So I don't understand. So that obviously must not have been true.
Aaron Rodgers is King DB.
Okay, so for nobody who understands what's going on, because we always just start in on our rant without giving the
context.
People, well, if they don't know what's going on, they don't pay attention to sports.
They probably don't, but it's a topic worth discussion. So the New York Jets, the Jets fired Robert Saleh, their head coach, after starting the year 2-3. A lot of people believe, as Jason has declared, that Aaron Rodgers had a hell of a lot to do with it. Here's how bad the situation was. He was not only fired, and he had no idea it was coming. He was escorted to his car by security.
A bunch of horse
Didn't get to talk to his players. Nothing. Had to make all of his statements, obviously, through social media or whatever, because he was not given that opportunity.
So does he still get paid? Right?
Yeah.
I imagine, yeah.
So he's making like $3,000 a day.
Huh?
He's making like $3,000 a day.
Good for him.
So at the end of the day, it's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, his winning percentage is 35%, which ranks as the worst in Jets franchise history among coaches with minimum of 40 games. Throwing it out. He's worse than Todd Bowles and Bruce Coslett. Oh my gosh, Bruce Coslett. Wow.
Look at his quarterback situation, though.
Well, he had Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah, for 5 games. I mean, that's
wait, they had Sam Darnold. They couldn't get it out of him. That didn't make anything look any better here. Okay,
no.
That did not help your cause. Don't think for 1 second. What they're doing in Minnesota with him is not making you look any good as a head coach. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
But they moved on from him though, because it was Zach Wilson. I mean, that was that draft pick. So yeah.
Well, I'm saying the whole situation with their coaching in general just not helping any matters here whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean,
I take it back. He never did play for Saleh.
No.
I digress. I was wrong. You're right. It was Zach Wilson, but it's either way, it's the Jets, and they're a dumpster fire. What a terrible organization.
I know they are, but Aaron
so
Rodgers, he can't pass the ball downfield like he used to.
He also don't have anybody he's really throwing to, does he?
I think he's got one receiver.
Oh, so, one? Yeah, he only did one.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's
Jefferson says I'm the only guy to throw the ball to.
That was a pretty sad statement, Zach.
I mean,
he got one.
I got one.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
But
throw me the ball.
You go from again Hard Knocks where they're like, hey, this defense is stout. Rodgers comes in, they're going to revamp the offense, or Rodgers will, and he gets hurt, and then you're off to a slow start this year. Well, I don't know. Again, 5 games into the year, like, okay, it can't just be Rodgers. It has to be like everybody must be aggravated. Like he must have lost the locker room or something. Like you can't be a second place team with an opportunity. You're only 1 game behind. I mean, they win
tied with who? Miami.
So
somebody or the Bills or something. Who is it? I don't even know.
Okay, wide receiver. They have Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that's the Wilson.
He ain't no good. He ain't no good.
Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard.
He sucks too.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams is still alive?
It's probably a different one.
Yeah, it's the guy who played for the Chargers. Yeah, it's him. It's definitely him. Holy cow.
Well,
he's still playing.
No, Mike Williams.
That's him.
He was drafted in 2017.
And Mike Williams, he went to Clemson. He played for the Chargers. He was a first-round draft pick.
Yes, he played for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
10 receptions for 145 yards.
Yeah, they ain't throwing in the ball.
Alan Lazard, Mike Williams, and then their backups are not. I mean, Xavier Gibson, Irvin Charles.
These guys are a bunch of no-name clowns. Come on, they don't run the ball good enough. That starts everything. Rodgers can play action.
That's good. Breece Hall is one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, and he's got 97 yards rushing on the year.
Yes, 65 attempts. He's only averaging 3 point. So their offensive line must suck.
Bingo. What's the reason Rodgers got hurt last year? Oh, that's right. Got leveled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he's 55.
Don't matter. He takes care of his body. He has that new age healing shit that he does.
All right, I'm sorry. He's not Joe Montana in his elder
He's
years.
He's not Tom Brady, is what you're saying?
No.
TB12.
No. I mean, why don't the Dolphins need to get somebody? That's another cluster.
The Dolphins will trade for Matt Stafford. That's my prediction. Trade deadline. If Tua is out for the season, somebody. I'm going to say the Dolphins are the front runners unless somebody else has it, or the Raiders.
Are the Rams terrible?
Yes, the Rams are bad.
Who's their second quarterback?
I don't know. They're just going to tank. They need a tank so that way they have an opportunity to get a high draft pick.
Yeah,
I don't know. They might have traded all those still away. Yeah, the Rams are 1-4. I love the fact that they're 1-4. By the way, I love it. I love it so much. I hate the fact that the Niners lost to them. That's sad.
Well,
talk about an organization that gets snake bit. Man, everybody's hurt over there.
Where
everybody's hurt. If you're in the NFL, you're hurt.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know, but
would you do the Madden cover? Would you do the Madden cover?
No.
I mean,
wait, I take it back. How much do I get paid?
Well, there you
How
go.
much do I get paid?
Right.
Who was the bad cover this year?
McCaffrey. He hasn't even played yet.
No, and it keeps getting worse with all.
What's wrong with him? What is wrong with him?
It's both Achilles,
tendonitis in both legs.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
he's done. All right. Well, we're talking football.
Yep, we got a little bit of time, Jason. So what do you want to say?
I'm staying with what Zach McVey put out there. So, Festus, who they got this week?
I don't know. I don't pay no attention now. Me and Jim are doing
high
a show.
school football. You got to pay attention.
Is it a DeSoto Windsor? It's got to be one of them because they already played. They already played North County and Hillsboro. Then I'm guessing DeSoto. I'll look it up.
If you're gonna bring up the topic, then be ready to talk about it.
They got a tough one. They got DeSmet.
Oh, that's right, DeSmet. Yeah.
Yeah,
but Festus should win the conference, right?
It's pretty much a lock. So. Yes. Yeah, it's a lock.
A lock, but districts. They may have to meet up with Hillsboro. They may have to meet up with Hillsboro again.
That's going to be that. I would assume that's what it'll be for districts again.
All right. So there was
a
rumor put out there. I don't know if any of you have heard this rumor. Quarterback from Hillsboro supposedly broke his hand in practice. Brown.
Uh-oh.
Have any of you heard this rumor?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Here's my question: if he's not playing defense, I don't think he's playing defense. How is anybody getting anywhere near him to break his hand?
I don't know that his hand's broken. I just had someone text me that today. I don't know why they text me. I don't know. I'm nothing. And
I don't want to say it,
but I'm wondering if there's any Hillsboro people watching. Is that a hey? Pavel Bush-Nabit's goal.
Oh yeah. Look at there. Yeah, but it's 1-1 now.
Guys.
Oh, by the way, the Yankees, they're advancing to the ALCS.
There you go.
There you go. Close that one out.
Sorry, KC.
Hey, they made it. They made it. All the respect.
It's better than the Cardinals.
Yeah, who are at home.
Doesn't take much.
Turner Ward's really at home. So bad. I don't know who they got, Jason. I don't know if the dude broke his hand. I have been so detached from high school football this year. It's not even funny.
Well, you're lame.
I know, right? I get that a lot. And I'm okay with it.
We got Bayless at home for senior night, and everyone knows we're over. So we're gonna try our damnedest to win a game Friday. So
has Bayless ever beat you guys?
I mean, in basketball they have.
I'm not talking about basketball.
I'm just saying.
Dang, I mean, they didn't have a football program very long. I'm asking, have they ever
They've
beat
had a
you
football
guys?
program for a minute?
Not 10 years.
I don't know. I'd have to.
I just asked you
up now. I'm gonna look it up now.
I thought that was something you would know off the top of your head.
How would I know if they had a football team for 10 years?
I'm asking, have they ever beat you guys? Holy hell.
I've been in Hergy for 10 years, so yeah, they probably have.
They've never beaten you guys. They haven't had a football team for 5.
I don't know.
They started their football program in 2021. They started playing varsity in 2021.
Are you sure?
I believe it's right around there. They've played you guys 4 times. Tomorrow will be the 5th. They have
2018 and 2019, they had a team.
I think that was the JV maybe played a couple varsity.
No, they had a team.
Okay, because they was in the conference. So okay, so I was still correct. They haven't had a team.
Conference in 2018-19.
Geez whiz, Jason. I said they weren't in the conference. They started playing in the conference, playing against you guys in 2021. Golly, you're old, Grandpa. Turn your hearing aid up.
Hey, me and you are going to fight.
I don't care.
2021, they do not play us, by the way.
Oh, you want to bet?
I'm looking at STL today, right now.
Yep, 10-8-21 played Herculaneum. Score was Bayless 30, Herculaneum 60.
You must be on Herculaneum.
I'm looking at it. No,
I'm on Bayless. I'm on
All
Bayless.
right.
2020.
Let's put this to bed.
They have Brentwood, Bird.
That is 2021. Okay, so you're looking at, yes, the following year. The following year,
we beat them 60-30.
Yes. You said in 2021. I'm like, in 2021, you played them.
And we beat them 44-6 the next year.
Yeah. Then you played them in the playoffs, I think.
We beat them 40-0 the next year.
You've played them 4 times. It will be the 5th time tomorrow.
So 5th time tomorrow. We'll see.
That's what so now we've got all of that out of the way. They are 0-4 lifetime against the Herculaneum Black Cats.
That is right. They're going to be
0-5. That's
hopefully 0-5 after tomorrow.
There you go on senior night.
There you go, Kittle.
All of that for that.
All of that. And on that note.
Hey, guess what? Fox School District, you got a jerk as a head coach.
And they knew that when they hired me. They make no bones about it, bro. No bones about it.
I'm sitting here trying to be a good guy.
Oh my gosh, you're trying to be a good guy. Whatever. Gosh. All right. Well, we appreciate you all if you stayed long enough for all of this. Tuning in for another episode of the Coach's Box Call Like We See It podcast.
Hey, guess what? Do you see who's not here again? Yeah. Hey, Tim Powers. Tim Powers, where are you? Where are you? I don't know.
We don't know, but that's okay. Hope everybody's had a great night, and we wish you guys all the best. Good night. God bless, and we will see you guys all again, hopefully, next week. Have a great weekend.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.